All right, we're going to create our first map here, and the tutorial will start with the first step. We just have to create 4 track segments. To get started, track segments should be selected by default, but this is what you'll be clicking when you're clicking onto the map. It'll be what you're placing. So just like 1 click, 2 clicks, that's a segment, third segment, or second segment, third, and fourth. And boom, we got 4 track segments laid down. Now we got our movement, which is WASD, left shift and hold faster. So all you gotta do is do WASD, you can do shift to move faster, right click to move your camera angle, so forth and so on. Okay, now we want to select something anytime you place something. So right now we're in placement mode. If we hit the Alt key, we're in select mode, and then we can select the track to move properties, but we're just showing how you select it. And now we're gonna make a change to the road here. We're actually gonna raise it up. So when you have the track selected, you can change properties of the track. But then if you select the end of it, you can change the height of it. You can use either this, or you can use the page up, page down functionality. There we go. And then once you start having different heights, you can also place roads at different heights or keeping at the same height that you currently have. So if I hold down the control key, then the next track segment will be at the same height. So see how it's the same height. And then if I want it to be straight and at the same height, I can do Control G, and no matter where I click, it'll be straight and the same height. So the straight segment and at the same height. And then additionally, if I just want it straight but go back down to the ground level, you can just do G, and no matter where you click, it'll go down into the thing there. As we can see here, the road's on there. Let's add a couple more pieces. Throw a little curve here. Alrighty, and then to place stuff, there's lots of things that you can place on the map. You can select whatever you want. There are lots of different packages that we've added to the game. We got Low Poly Mega City, for example, has a number of cool buildings, so we're just going to place one of those. So we place the component onto the map. And then if you want to move it, you can use either the arrow keys. You have to have it selected. So again, there's placement mode and select mode. So hitting Alt toggles between it. So now we're in select mode. We have to select something. And you can use either these arrow keys, you can use the arrow keys on your keyboard, or you can just left click and drag it around. And then we can do movement. So to do movement, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to add a new piece here. So we're going to go back into switching between inspector, and library also switches between the 2 modes. We are going to find a fence. Here is a little construction fence. And we're just going to put it like right there. And then we're going to add some properties to it. We're back into select mode. We're going to select it, and then you can create a movement. This works once you're in movement mode. You'll see the header changes a little bit different here. And it works just like placing track segments. You can actually click on something and it creates a new point to where the movement's going to go. So this one here is 4 points. If I test it, you can see the object will be moving as it goes through around the points that you collected. You can decide whether it's a circuit, does just once, and then repeats itself, reverse, how many times you want it to repeat. 0 is infinite. If you just want it to run one time, that animation run one time, you can just put 1 there. If you want the object to disappear when it's finished with its movement, and then when should it start and when should it stop, if it should ever stop. We are going to actually do a little bit simple. I'm going to do Control Z to undo the last 2 points. Now, actually, what I want to do is I just want this to be going back and forth across the road here. So this is what I want. So as the race cars are coming through, we got a little bit of a moving obstacle that's going to be on the way. So we made our first movement in the game. So we can exit movement mode, and that object now has a movement mode. Now to save the map, you got to give it a name, demo of game, and click save. And then before you can publish a map, so you can always save a map and you can always play a map. But if you want other people to play your maps, you have to test it. And then additionally, you have to publish it to a community slot. So these last 2 steps are going to show that. It does have to be a minute-long map. So I'm going to make it just a little bit longer of a map, so we can ensure we get a minute in here. Have it come on up over there. There we go. And then you click test. Then it'll go through, it'll do an actual race. And you can see the cars are going through. I'll speed this up in the actual demo. That's embedded into the game. Recording this for the demo for the game. There's our moving component. You can see how it affects some people there. To get a map published, you need the race to be, the winner has to be over a minute, and 80% of racers have to complete the map. We don't want people creating maps that pretty much nobody finishes. People don't like it when they can't finish. And the way that's determined is once the winner comes across, then there is a countdown timer that everybody else has to finish here. It looks like everybody's going to finish on this map. This guy's almost done. But if he were not to complete by the time this went down, then the map would be, he would be did not finish. Okay, so it shows you the track results. We got to record before we publish. We need to do a test, which we just did. The test before this track, the winner's over 1 minute. We did that. We had 16 of 20 racers required to finish. All of them actually finished, and so now we're ready to publish. So the next step in the tutorial is to publish to the community. Everybody has one community slot that they can publish to. So you just click publish and then publish. And it'll show you all the community slots. If you happen to acquire more community slots, you'll see them all. And so we're just going to select one that's publishing the map. And it's been published. We can close this out. We can save and exit. And then there's our game published in the community slot. So all people can see all official maps and all community maps. You can only see your draft. Nobody else can see your draft. So only community and official maps can be shown.